Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt!
This will be the Void Mage starter guide. Welcome. As per usual, we will go over the belts first. So you can either do the Bearskin belt with Azora Magical, or a Yeshiva belt. Again, the two Yeshiva belts that I would mainly use are the Beast and the Devil. Beast is for most content, including CV, Crystal Valley, but it's mostly for Volcanus. The first room is Beast every single time, and then 2 and 3 will vary, but usually most people use Triple Beast, which is Beast here, and these two are Beast. This is just reduction, so it doesn't... You can use it as well for like Dragon, Demon, or Devil. I usually just do whatever one rolls fast. But if you want the Devil, Devil's for more mobs for that do a lot more damage, or Beast if you do Treasury and you're doing the Tarantulas. The belt pets, to start, you can do 5 S1 Ethereal Pixies, but eventually you will want to swap to 3 S1 Pixies, 1 S5 Baphomet for cast speed. Cast speed is important for Void Mage. And a White Dragon S5 for the Vitality and the M attack. It is quite useful. You will need a decent amount because you're going to be a little squishy. Boss cards will depend. I used the Grandmaster Hector card for quite a while until I transitioned to the Devil Reviac. But if you do have MP issues, just use the Grandmaster Hector card. It'll come in handy quite effectively, and then once you're strong enough, you can swap to Devil Reviac without much of an issue. Your main skills are going to be a little just based AoE stuff. So what you're going to want to do is pop Heat of Conjurer and Spirit of Fire before doing your attacks. Grimatrician's your self buff with Tempest. So these help do significantly more damage with your attacks. So you do Lightning Field, Fire Field, and then you can just do Chain Lightning on repeat. This will help reduce the cooldowns of their abilities. This also affects Grace, so if you see why your Grace is up way earlier than compared to other classes you may play, it's because VM has a cooldown reduction built into spell casts. So yeah, this is pretty much your rotation. It's just going to be Fire Field, Lightning Field, Chain Lightning. You can use Chrono Shift. It'll reset all the cooldowns. You can do Haste of Conjure, which is instant casting. Very useful for like CV when you're pulling a bunch of mobs and you potentially get grouped up. You need to be able to instantly cast. You can also use Heaven's Breaker to stun. It's very handy. That'll also come in handy for Volcanus. You need a stun for the boss. It's not usually always effective, but it is what it is. Now, you can also do Azuran Haste and Wind Weapon on your main. I just recommend making a second VM buff slave with Wind Weapon armor and then a whole nother set for Azuran Haste. I don't like running 3 sets of gear on the main. It's just cluttery. So it is kind of just one of those, I'd rather have it on a separate. Your defensive stuff, you can use Magic Skin to neutralize magic if you're dying super fast. Just be advised for things like Battle of Ancients and anything that disables MP recovery. These will be just making you end that run that much faster because your MP pots are not going to be able to catch up. It is not usually enough. For the pets, you're going to want to do Ethereal Pixie for the Elemental Harmony and Wind Pixie for the Unity. Obviously, Gold Liquid Lust is the gold pet version of the Ethereal Pixie, so it gets the additional Master's Devotion and Unity Koala, which is crit power. These are going to be your toggles. Void Mage does not have any toggle abilities like the vast majority of other classes, so it just uses that. Your stones are going to be mostly just intel crit. You're not really going to roll anything else, just those. And if you notice this is Blessing of Strength, don't worry about that. This was a training, like a practice one that we were testing to see whether or not this actually benefited versus the one-hand mace. So that'll go into the gears. For the most part, I just recommend you get a one-hand mace, 4% M attack, roll it, try getting as high as crit power as possible, and then the Mage wall. You don't have to worry about skills. That'll be something much later down the line. For treasury gear, just get a one-hand mace. It's going to be more than enough for most people. It's hard to get a one-hand staff that rolls good enough in treasury until you get to 215, 225. Then it may come out on top, but one-hand mace is still just overall strong for that, so don't switch to one-hand staff. It's only good for later on in treasury. And your awakenings for these weapons is generally going to be M attack and cast speed. If you can get M attack and cast speed, you are golden. Like this is my only triple roll of M attack that I've ever gotten. And this took like 300 rolls. If you ever want to lose your sanity, try getting triple M attack. It is not fun. Going over gear real quick. So you'll have two options. Option one is use what we currently can use before Crystal Aura gets fixed. So the skills you will want is either Fire Field and Lightning Field. If you can get Lightning Field, Fire Field, you're done for a while. Until Crystal Aura gets fixed. Once Crystal Aura gets fixed, it'll become the de facto one you use because it'll increase your M attack. Now, it's not a massive amount, but it's an increase in M attack that usually is enough to warrant it being used. So, for now, just use skills with Fire Field and Lightning Field until Crystal Aura gets fixed. For Volcanus specifically, you can do the Gold LL and the Wind Pixie, or you can do Gold LL and the Cobra, due to the Cobra having the debuffs for M defense. That'll make the boss significantly faster to kill. So, end game stuff, use the Cobra for Volcanus. Test to see what you go faster with. Again, it's just practice makes perfect. You got to make sure that you have it on auto attack, which is just right clicking. You'll see it start glowing. So, yeah. Make sure if you want to do endgame Volcanus, you might want a Gold Cobra as well. If we go to the pet trader, the buff I mainly use is the Grandmaster Hector. It gives the biggest buff. It is kind of just, you can do, as long as you have something from either a Pixie, Wind Pixie, or Hector. As long as you have something, it's fine. It just has the most M attack. Your potions, I recommend using. You don't really need a quick potion. I just have it because I just did all this stuff really quick. You're never going to use it, but I'm just lazy. I just do all three when I set up any class character. Wind potion for movement speed, cast speed potion. Wisdom is kind of helpful. I just do it just because it's just a habit I have from previously where it's M attack and it's M accuracy based. This is more for Corruptor. Intelligence, obviously. Vitality, you do want as much vitality as possible. Purified pieces, same thing. You can also technically use agility. Agility does increase your health. That is a Azura trait. It increases your health a little bit. Every little bit can help, but for the most part, it's not essential. for your titles, you're going to want to use Camper for almost everything. Eventually, if you get me with Deathmatch, you can use this one instead in Volcanus and do it a little faster. You probably won't die if you're high up, like Reborn-wise, like 20 up. You won't die as fast because you have the Liquid Lust for healing, and you have Life Leech if need be as well. But you should mostly be fine. And then I'll cut to me doing some stuff. So, alright, here we are in Crystal Valley. So, for the most part, what I would do, I would just taunt everything you possibly can. Use Lightning Field, then Fire Field. This will be a little bit different than in Volcanus. Volcanus, you want the mobs to hit you first, just so you get the Luna Chip, because your AoEs do not cast Luna Chip. But when you have enough damage, it really doesn't matter all that much. You're still doing a ton of damage. So it's not really going to matter that much whether or not you cast it. But it's good to have just in case. So you just do that 1, 2, move on to the next zone. Taunt 1, 2, AoE 1, 2, and everything should be dead. You move on. Taunt, taunt, grab, grab. And this is effectively what you can do as a Void Mage in CV. Obviously, if you're like on a fresh character, it's not going to be nearly this much damage, but the process is the same. You just have to be a little more vigilant with Lightning Field, hiding behind it. Or you, if this is going to be your second character, you can bring your main, either a Templar or something else. You attack with Lightning Field, Fire Field. Then you tab over to your other, and then you can kill without being in the same party, and your main will not get any XP or that much, and then this gets a ton. So if you want to power level a brand new alt, you can do that. But this is the primary method in which I will... Oh, did I just say something over here? I did. Okay. But yeah, that's CV. I'll switch over to Volk next. Alright, we're going to show a thing that I've done thanks to Magic. They show me how to do this properly. So you can do that, but you can't click your abilities. So you got to do Heat of Conjure, Spirit of Fire before you go in. Click as fast as you possibly can to get in there. Let it load, and then you just start as fast as you can. The problem with Lightning Field, if you don't get them all, is that it'll slow the kill speed down, so you effectively just want to taunt them all. Let them hit you at least once. Then just back away. Just make sure to keep casting Fire Field, Lightning Field as many times as you possibly can. Obviously, you can do this way faster when you're not trying to compensate, but this is the problem. If you do Lightning Field too soon, see how these are dying way faster than these two? That's the danger of doing that a little too soon. So you want to taunt, let them come fast to you, then do the Lightning Field, because otherwise it'll slow down significantly for your kill speed and then affect your time. This is something where you just gotta do this again. I was a little late on that, but again, not a terrible runtime, all things considered for this. So let's run it again. This is the difficult part for Void Mage, is repeatedly running this over and over due to the cooldowns and everything. This is why if you can do this effectively, it's probably number 2, number 1. But ease of use, no, it's like number 4. Templar is a lot easier to do, because you can do everything the exact same over and over and over. And I think I lost the Wind Pixie. I did. Was not paying attention to its health. So, yeah. That's my bad, Wind Pixie. See if I can res you again. This is also why you want to keep your pets a little further out. This is the thing with this portal. It gets really annoying when it doesn't click. Another thing you can do when you're not getting feared, which is always fun, is you can do your pet's buffs and then do Fire Blast. This is actually a decent single target. But this was not a very clean run. And you can tell the time goes way high when you do that. So Chrono Shift. 1, 2. Let's see if we can get a very clean run to start. So we've got 2 beasts so far in this run. Oh, did you just get one-shotted? Almost. I'll run you over there, little pixie. That was dangerous. Why did I already use that on you? Twice now. So we've gotten triple beast this run, so this should be under a minute 15. Once you get this dialed in, practiced enough, you can get this to be under a minute pretty easily. It's just a lot of practice makes perfect, and I have not been practicing my Void Mage in a little while. Been working on the Overlord, and I did the guide on that first. There will be another full written guide by Mr. Beast, no affiliation to the YouTuber. He'll have a full guide, very in-depth on Void Mage. This is just a quick little what you can do, what you should look forward to, and how to do this just as a quick guide. And then you can use that in the full if you want a full detailed of how to properly do this completely. This is just a starter guide just to get you started in Void Mage on your main abilities and what to look for. Things to kind of avoid. Don't use Dark Spiral. It's kind of slow. It's kind of like Armageddon, but it's just way slower. And then you can't cancel until it's like way done. So I don't recommend doing that. Meteor Shower can be quite useful for CC purposes, but for the most part, you're just going to be doing the Lightning Field, Fire Field, and using this in case of emergency. Make sure if you're using a Liquid Lust, use your Azure Phoenix and Dark Tide, and keep the heal on a hotbar. Or if you want 2 heals, you can just remove one of these, but you're going to need most of these. But have fun.